Hello there everyone, how's it going? It's Didi here, and in this video I'm going to try to help you if you still struggle with key bindings. Basically, I have been messaged about it, and I'm pretty sure there's still some people who struggle with this. So, especially if you're a new player, I can definitely understand that it can be somewhat scary if you look at your keyboard and think of it like something full of skills, full of your abilities, kind of a mess. So, I can definitely relate to that. I've been there, so yeah. Basically, what I'm going to try to do is show you, open your minds to the pattern of the process of key binding. Because there's definitely is a pattern, there's kind of sort of a way of thinking, and I'm going to show you right now. And I really do hope this helps, but please, guys, this is based on what my keybinds are. I'm not gonna lie to you. So if this doesn't suit for you, you just need to find what's better for you, what feels more comfortable for you. Because at the end of the day, that's what you really need is to feel comfortable with how you play. But basically, this is going to be directly to all classes. There won't be any class. This is basically the pattern of what you want to do when you keybind. So yeah. Okay, so key binding is something that in MMO games, it's actually very, very, very important. It's something that if you want to be competitive, if you want to actually succeed, either if you PvP or PvE, you need to feel comfortable with what you are playing, with the class that you're playing, with getting to your abilities in time. So that's what separates a normal player from a good player. You want to reach all of your abilities, if not all, at least the most important ones, in less time possible. And with a little bit of practice and a little bit of time, you can definitely reach there, guys. You can be there. You just can't give up. You really can't give up. That's a lot of people, like in the process of key mining, they tend to give up because they don't get used to it, fast. Guys, this is normal. This is normal. You won't nail it at first. Some players may take some hours, some players may take some days, and some players may even take some weeks to get used to their new key bindings. The important thing is do not give up. This is where some people fail. It's just that they put a new keybind, they can't get used to it, as fast as they want to, and so they return the skill to their original key bindings. And you can't do that to if you want to evolve. You can't. You need to push yourself, and you just need to practice, and with time you'll get there and you'll be hitting that key like a champ. Okay, so now what I want you to do is you want to make 2 or 3 groups of skills. I want you to separate your skills into 2 or 3 groups. What this basically means is, let's say that the first group is going to be skills that are less than 10-second cooldowns and are your most used skills, so the ones with most intensity. So for example, if you are a warrior, this will probably be like Mortal Strike, Overpower, this will be like Slam, Heroic Strike if you're on Colossus Smash, and Shockwave if you have it. So that will be it if you're like a warrior, for example. If you're an Elemental Shaman, this will be your Lightning Bolt, your Chain Lightning, your Lava Burst, your Flame Shock, etc. So this will be the first group. The second group will be for situational skills, so skills that you don't hit as often as you hit the skills on group 1, but when you need to hit him, you need to hit him fast. Situational skills. For example, defensive cooldowns or burst cooldowns, or if you're like a shaman, the tremor totem. If you have a fear on, it's situational. You don't use the tremor totem as much, obviously, but when you need to use it, you need to use it fast, or it won't be worth it. For example, your PvP trinket will fit here quite well. If you're a warlock, your dark regeneration. If you're a mage, your ice block. If you're a warrior, shield wall. Basically, situational skills from like 1 minute cooldown to, let's say, 5 minute cooldown. Okay, so now that you've grouped up your skills, let's take a look at the keyboard. Basically, what I want you to do now is take a look at your movement keys. So this will probably be WASD. Although I know that some players play with ESDF, but you're probably playing with WASD, otherwise you most likely wouldn't be viewing this guide. Basically, ESDF, why some players pick it over WASD is they get more freedom with the key bindings. They get more key bindings around it. I personally play with WSC and like it a lot better because with the SDF it becomes really difficult to hit shift or alt, the modifiers keys. So anyways, so now that you're looking at your movement keys, this is kind of like the rule. It's not really a rule, but let's call it like this. Basically, your hand is where your movement keys are. So what you want to do is, let's pick up the first group, the skills that are most used, and basically what you want to place it around them. So, for example, let's take a look at numbers. I would say that 1, 2, 3 is good. It's personally it's what I use. I don't use anything else. Uh, from 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and 7. Those are not good. You won't get there in time. So basically, let's see. 1, 2, 3 is actually they are good for the first group. Now you want to, for example, start looking at your X, at your C, at your F, and at your R keys. This will pretty much be the keys to your first group. So basically, you can hit your most used skills, much more easily as they are around your hand. But guys, one thing that I really do advise is that you don't keybind everything like at the moment. Don't do it. Start off by keybinding like 2 to 3 skills. Not much more, or else you really won't get used to it in time and you'll get really frustrated. So like keybind 2 to 3 skills at a time, and once you feel comfortable with those, move along. For example, I'm gonna give you my personal experience. My first keybind was actually the X skill, and I really loved it. So start off like with those kinds of keybinds. Start off by putting a skill on X or a skill on R, something like this. You don't really want to just do a mess all of the sudden. It's not really good for you nor your memory. So just start off by 2 or 3 skills at a time. Okay, so now let's go take a look at our second group of skills, which are the situational ones that you don't eat as often, but when you do, you need to be fast. So this means they cannot be that far away from your hand either. So the way to do it is basically using modifier keys. Now guys, don't get scared. Honestly, don't. I advise you just to first put the ones that I've showed you already, but when you feel comfortable, don't be scared by this. What this really means is that the keys that I already showed you for the first group can actually be used again as to skills. Basically by pressing shift and for example shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, shift X, shift R, these are completely different skills. The game recognizes it as completely different skills. So that's basically the way to use the situational skills. They are still very near your hand. They are just there as the first group is, but you will not eat them, you know, while trying to eat the ones in group 1. So this is, I think, the best way to do it. The best way to get the reaction time is by taking advantage of your modifier keys. So you want to put like something like this, like your defensive cooldowns or something, or like your burst cooldowns on Shift X, or Shift R, Shift 1, Shift 2. Other than Shift, you can also use Control or Alt. These also work as modifiers. The game recognizes it as modifiers, so definitely take advantage of this. This is the best way that you can get to have still skills near your hands, where you will basically have a really awesome reaction time, but you still have the ones that you eat pretty much more than these ones also near your end. Now that I've shown you, I tried to help you with the keyboard, key bindings and all, I really want to talk about the mouse. Mouse for me is the most perfect place to put key bindings, so I really like it. It's my most favorite and more comfortable place to put key bindings. It's just so easy. They are the most easy ones to actually click, because one thing's for sure, your hand is always in the mouse. So with just moving your thumb a little bit or something, you can definitely hit a skill or two, and it's awesome. So basically what you really need, and guys, I really advise you to getting a mouse. Like if you have a normal mouse, you need to at least have a mouse with two extra buttons on the side. This is extremely important. Now, I myself, I actually have a Razer Naga, so I have tons of more buttons. So, but don't get discouraged if you don't. You really don't need a mouse with so many buttons, especially at the start. I just have this recently, like 2 months ago. I still had a mouse with only two buttons at a side, and I was just doing as I'm doing now. The thing is, it just is more easy, but it's not really game changing. So so if you still have a regular mouse, I really do advise you to get a mouse with at least two extra buttons on the side. Honestly, guys, I do. So to me, the mouse is basically the most easy keybinds to get used to. So if you really should try to at first, like the first ones, you really should try to go to the mouse. And for the mouse, I really have actually I think a very nice pattern which really helps out a lot. So basically, in the mouse, what I think it's this: I use my mouse for movement. When I move here or there or whatever, I turn with my mouse. My mouse is basically my movement. So my rule for the mouse is where I have my movement skills. So for example, a warrior as I play in my mouse, if I had only two buttons, like 2 months ago, I had charge, heroic leap, for example, in the two buttons. This is like the basic pattern of the mouse, and I think it's actually a very easy one to adapt. Since you move with the mouse, movement skills in the mouse for me just make sense. They are very easy to adapt to. So yeah, guys, just put something like this. For example, if you're a rogue, a sprint here will be definitely good. You know, if you're a shamey, I have a ghost wolf here too. A blink if you're a mage, all that good stuff. So this is a good pattern to get you used to mouse. And also don't forget that you can shift, modify your mouse. It also works with the mouse button, so you can shift button 1, shift button 2. Also don't forget that the scroll itself is a button. And don't forget, but I advise you to only try this when you are a little bit more comfortable with key binding. Scroll up and scroll down are amazing places to put some skills. Okay, guys, I really hope this helped you. And I mean, if it does, it is my absolute pleasure. Let me know if it did help you. If you're struggling with key binding, let me know in the comments if this helped you or not, because I would love to know. It's my absolute pleasure to try to help as much as you can. And yeah, if it did or if you liked it, a thumbs up would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, guys, if or maybe even a subscribe would be absolutely wonderful and would mean the whole world to me. So, yeah, guys, see you next video.